State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, and we're discussing the state ownership report. We have Ghana apparently owns many enterprises. Question is, how are they doing? And I guess that's what they attempt to do with compiling a report on all of them. So it gives all of us an idea how the companies we own or the enterprises we own are faring. I'm joined in studio this morning by two gentlemen, and let me go through their names. In fact, I was watching the flyer to see if I can identify everybody by face. I'm guessing on my left is Charles Nak-Kwesing.
Yes, please.
Okay. Financial Advisory Unit?
Yes.
SIGA?
Yes.
Okay. And you're also a technical team member of the State Ownership Report.
Yes.
State Ownership Report. There's Fidelis Ankoma. When I heard your name, I was a little confused. I thought instead of using the lady's picture, they were using yours. But nice to have you in studio. As you're also a member of the technical team that worked on the report. Okay. So first, let's start by giving people an education on what SIGA is. Who do I start with? Okay, Fidelis. Tell us about SIGA. What do you do?
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to your cherished listeners. State Interest and Governance Authority was established in 2019 by the passage of the State Interest and Governance Authority Act, which is Act 990. And our function is to oversee and administer the interests of the state in specified entities. Now, say administer and oversee the interest. Now, when you say interest, the interest is basically about ownership in these specified entities. Now, when you talk about specified entities, we categorize them into three. We have what you call the state-owned enterprises. These are state-owned companies that are set up with a motive of profit making. So, for example, ECG, Ghana National Petroleum Company, and the like, they are set up to make profit. Now, we have the other ones that are also set up to make profit, but government is not the sole owner. So, these ones are termed as the joint venture companies. So, for example, Metro Mass ISTC. That's intercity. Government has partial ownership in these entities. The other category is other state entities. And these are entities that are set up to undertake certain public policy function. So, for example, Food and Drugs Authority, they are set up to regulate the food and the health, that is medicine and the other stuff. Like Ghana is Commission, they are set up to take these functions. So when it comes to SIGA, these are the categories of entities we look at. And by making sure that they operate properly, if you look at our act says that we should ensure efficient operations and when applicable, profitable operations of them. And the reason why we made it that
efficient operations.
Yes, efficient operations. And where applicable, profitable. So when you look at the ones that are set up to make to undertake certain public policy functions, they are not set up with a motive of profit making. However, we need to ensure that every cedi that government gives to these organizations, every cedi that they earn from the operations, such as their fees and charges, they utilize it properly to achieve what I term as the 3 E's: economy, efficiency, and effectiveness. So that is the other ones, those who are set up not to make profit. The other ones that are set up to make profit also need to ensure efficiency, because without efficiency, you cannot achieve profitability. So we ensure that every money they are spending it in the best interest of Ghanaians, so that they can manage their expenses. Then in the long run they can make profit and pay dividend to the state to support other government initiatives.
So the basic thing you are to do in order to ensure a mandate is you are ensuring efficiency first of all. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay. And when applicable.
Profitable.
Okay. So, would you say in the case of a place like, let's say, I don't know, is GCB under you?
Yes, Ghana commercial, former Ghana Commercial
Yes,
Bank,
yes.
GCB Bank. Yes,
Is under you.
yes. It's,
Okay, so
it's
in
a
their case,
a joint venture company.
Okay, but in their case, profitability is applicable.
Yes, it's applicable.
Okay. So now, then explain to me what the state ownership report is about. How long have you been compiling it, and exactly what do you use it for?
Okay. So the state ownership report, as the name suggests, state ownership. So anywhere that as a country we have ownership, we try to put these entities together as a portfolio in order to see how they are performing, in order to also inform the true owners of the company or this stake. Because Ghanaians, ultimately, we own all these companies. But others are, they have a fiduciary duty to ensure that all of us, we cannot go and manage the companies. We need to select people to go and manage these companies. But in the long run, we need to come back and tell Ghanaians that the mandate that we entrusted in our hands, we have that agency responsibility to come back to them and tell them that these are the performances of the entities you entrusted in our hands. So that is what the state ownership report, first seeks to do, to tell Ghanaians, to account to Ghanaians, to promote transparency and accountability for everyone to know that this is the performance of ECG. This is the performance of Ghana Water Company. This is the performance of Cocobod and the like, so that everybody will be aware. And will also inform policy. The report, it comes to also inform policy, because when we put it together in a form of portfolio, then we are able to analyze the information we have to see what is causing this kind of performance. If it's a good performance, what is causing it? If it's a bad performance, what is causing it? Then we also diagnose the report to see how we can improve the performance. Then we inform the people who are in charge of policy making that this is the situation, so that they can inform policy in that sector. Now, people will also ask that what is even the relevance of this? Now, one of the issues that we face as a country is managing public debt. And if you look at the share size of these entities, in the long run, whatever happens, the effect comes to the government. As a nation, the effect comes to us. So if they are not performing properly, if they are not managing their expenses, they are not managing their debt, and it triggers into it will trigger into fiscal risk, and ultimately will come and balloon the public debt. So this is what the state ownership report inform policy, inform the people of Ghana about the performance of their entities, how they are doing, and also opportunity to inform the people who are managing this, the direction of the government.
And I was asking how long you've been compiling this particular report, the state ownership report.
Okay. Good morning to our cherished listeners and viewers. I think this is the 9th edition.
Ninth edition
yes,
that you're working
this is
on.
the 9th edition, but SIGA have prepared 4 out of the 9.
Okay.
So it's an annual thing, the annual report that we've been preparing.
Okay.
And just as I said, this is the 4th that SIGA has prepared. The rest, the 5 were prepared by the Ministry of Finance.
Okay.
Prior to the existence of the coming into existence of SIGA.
Okay.
They were preparing it. So there have been a switch. SIGA took over. We started preparing the 2021, 2022, 2023, and then 2024, which is the current one that we are discussing.
And how has it helped? Because you're saying a few things. You want to render account to the public. Do you see the public interest in even looking at the report or caring about exactly what the states of these companies are?
I think yes, there have been some level of impact. For instance, once it's discussed in the media, people who are placed in the helm of affairs, are made to know the true position of their stewardship. And what is unique about this report is that normally we add the pictures of the CEOs and then the board chair.
Okay.
So it's a form of, just as my brother said, and a form of transparency and accountability platform for Ghanaians to know that, yes, you are managing Cocobod. This is your picture and this is your performance. And if you look at it, even the impact from the perspective of how they are able to transition from maybe a loss-making to profit-making, there are some entities who were based somewhere 2022, they were having negative equity. But as the report came and then we had some kind of engagement and they also saw their performance, there have been an upliftment. They've transitioned from negative equity to a positive equity. Some were making losses. Now they're making a profit because the reports try to highlight some of the areas that they are doing well, areas that are not doing well. After that, SIGA doesn't go to sleep. We pick the reports, we tease out the rare issues, we engage those who are not doing well, and we do deeper analysis on their performance. And that one is not published publicly, so most of the time it doesn't come out. But behind the scenes, there have been a lot of engagement, and it's improving the performance of most of the SCs who are not doing bad then.
And how much do you share with the public in terms of, in this report, if I pick this report, would I just be seeing numbers of how well they are doing, or would I have an idea where they are failing?
I think the report we have qualitative and then the quantitative.
Okay.
The qualitative will look at the operations itself in totality. We have performance, we sign a performance contract with them.
Okay.
And at the end of the year, every year, we evaluate their performance. So the report also captures their performance after monitoring and evaluating them per their operations, where they stand.
Okay.
It is featured in the report. Then the report talks about the quantitative side that deals more with the financials. So you see how much revenue they are getting a year. You see their expenses.
Radio station.
You see their bottom line, that is their profitability. And then you also have informed. You are informed about their asset base and then their liabilities. So it's an analysis of their balance sheet and their income statement. Vis-a-vis their performance. Okay, based on the contract that we've signed with them.
Okay.
Yes.
And
okay.
Adding to that, when you look at the report, we have the sectorial bit. So you see, when I was in the introduction, I mentioned that we have categories of entities. We have some being state-owned enterprises, we have some being joint venture companies, we have some being other state entities. And inside these categories, you still have some of them broadly categorized under the traditional sectors that we have. You have energy, agriculture, and the like. You see that we have done, an analysis on all the entities,
individually.
in these sectors. And also, if you go into the report, we see the individual entities that we've done specific analysis for the individual entity. So it is a very detailed report that if you look at it, you find everything that you want to see.
How many entities are under you currently?
Currently, if you look at our register, we have about 175.
175. Yes. Were all of them covered?
No.
By this report?
No. We covered 152.
152. What happened to the rest?
Okay, so as I told you, SIGA came in 2019, and operationally started around 2020.
Okay.
Yes, through that stage up till now, we haven't reviewed the register, but there are some of the entities that are no more functioning.
Okay.
Yes, there are some of them too. For certain reasons, they are not captured.
Okay.
Yes, but we are making sure that in the future all of these entities will be covered, and also we will update the register to see the current numbers that we have with regards to the entities we are supposed to oversee.
So currently,
to add to what he said, just as I said, this is the 9th edition, and from the first edition,
yes,
the report covered about 16 entities only 16.
The first edition was
Yes,
16.
yes.
When you have 175.
Yes. And then when we took over, last 2023, we did 147.
Okay.
And now we've moved to
1.5.
1.5.
Okay.
So there's some progress.
Okay.
And, our current DG has also been helpful in terms of bringing other entities who are not part of, who have not been under the purview of SIGA. Though in our register they are supposed to be reporting to SIGA performance contract with us. That has not been the case. But when it came in, currently we are signing contract. We have additional over 30 specified entities who are now coming in to sign performance contract. Hitherto, they were not signing contract with us, but through the effort of our new Director General, Professor Percy White, more entities are now coming on board, and we are hoping to have more or all of them covered in the 2025 reports.
Well, if you just join us, before we go into the health of the state-owned enterprise, let me announce to my listeners that when we say state-owned enterprise, we are talking about the ones you shout about, where we mention how they are doing. You're talking about ECG, and some of them are also joint ventures, like you said, Ghana Commercial Bank, where they partly own with the public.
Yes.
Yes.
Metromas.
Yes. And then there are some that are not profit-making. So when they are talking about, they're also talking about a place like FDA, Standards Authority, among others. So now, question is, what health are our these institutions and enterprises in?
Okay, thank you. Sana, right?
Yes.
Okay. When you put them all in one basket, there has been some kind of growth in the revenue performance. 2023, the growth was 39%. In revenue, in total revenue. That is for the SOEs. When you box all of them, the 54 SOEs that we analyzed, when you put all of them together, the total revenue, that was money that they were able to generate in 2023, it grew by 39.42% of 74.7 billion. Now, when you come to 2024, there was a growth from 104 billion to 133 billion. So, where we are expecting them to make profit, the entities we're expecting them to make profit, the 54 of them, putting them together, they grew their revenue by 28%. So when you compare the 28 to the 39, though there was an improvement or there was growth, you could see that there's slow in momentum. There's slow momentum. You grew 39, and then you grew in 2024 28%. All things because we expected revenue to grow at the same speed or better than it was in 2023. However, just as I said earlier on, when you look from the 5 years coming up, you could see that there have always been consistent growth in terms of money that they are able to generate for their operations. Now, what happened you asked why there was a drop in momentum. You see, there are some entities, whatever happens to them, it affects the whole portfolio. They are 54 in number. But there are some of them, they are so huge per their operations and the assets base that whatever happens to them, it shakes the whole portfolio. An entity like Cocobod. Cocobod had a decline in revenue by 20%.
Cocobod?
Yes.
In 2024.
Their revenue declined by 20%. This was because there was a drop in cocoa output. We did over 600 metric tons in 2023, but it was around 400,000 in 2024.
From 600,000, over 600,000, we're down to over 400,000.
Yes. So there was about 28% drop in the cocoa output. When you look at the international market, the world trade market, there was cocoa prices went up on the world market. You could see that our cedi also depreciated. So if all things being equal, we should have a lot of revenue. because now the prices have gone up more than even 2023.
And then you have a weaker,
You have a weaker
at the
city,
time, yeah.
so you were getting a lot of money, but it didn't reflect because you were not getting the volumes.
Okay.
Do you get me?
Okay.
If your output is going down, no matter how they increase the price on the market, you will still not be making revenue.
Okay.
So that dropped their revenue by 20%.
Okay.
You see, so when you put that one into the whole portfolio,
It affects
the others who are also making it.
Okay.
When you look at the energy subsector, they grew their revenue by 38.98%.
Okay.
The energy subsector.
38.9.
Now, when it comes to the SOEs, we have 7 sectors under them. We have the energy, we have the infrastructure, we have the manufacturing subsector, we have the financial and allied subsector, we have the communication subsector, and then we have the we have infrastructure subsector. So all these subsectors, when you bring them together, in total, the energy subsectors, which we have the GMPC, we have B Power, we have Grico, we have VRA, we have ECG.
Yes.
When you put all of them, their revenue together, it grew by 38.98%.
Okay.
But when you come to the agri subsector, there was a decline.
Okay.
Because
Agric?
Yes, because Cocobod alone declined by 20%.
So Cocobod's performance is weighing down.
Agri subsector. When you come to financial and allied services, they grew their revenue by 49.52%. And here you have CBG there, you have Get Fund. And in 2024, there were a lot of parliamentary allocations to Get Fund.
Okay.
So their revenue, their income went up.
Okay.
CBG also grew theirs. And when you come to the transport sector, where we have the GPHA, that's Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, where we have the Ghana Airport Company, where we have the Water Lake Company, and the likes, civil aviation, they grew their revenue by 57.41%.
Okay.
And this was contributed to largely by GPHA and then Ghana Airport.
Okay. So majority of the group came from those two.
Yes, those two. Okay. And you see, it's understandable. One, they deal mostly they are exposed to forex transactions. They deal in dollars. So when the city depreciates,
the revenue goes up.
Yes.
Okay.
So it has an impact on their operations.
Okay.
Yes. So you see that all these subsectors, they were growing, their revenue were growing. Just the agri subsector, which was driven by Cocobod.
So if Cocobod had managed to do the 600,000 again,
and even more, the revenue could have been ballooned. Though it looks okay per the report that we've done so far, we could have still done far better if all of them could have at least increased their revenue lines.
Okay. So, and adding to that, looking at what he said, the size of some of the entities. Now, the notion in the public is that most of our SOE, state-owned enterprises, are not doing well.
Yes.
But the picture is not really like that. It's explainable by what he mentioned. Now, in the year that we are talking about, 2024, we captured 54 of them.
Okay.
Now, for us to drill down to see if our entities are doing well or not, we looked at them, how many of them posted profit after tax.
Okay.
How many? Because for you to pay dividend, you need to declare profit. You need to have profit after tax before you can pay dividend. Now, when you looked at that, about 35 out of 54 of them posted profit after tax. Just 19 of them posted loss after tax. Okay. Which suggests, however, we recorded a net loss for the entire portfolio. Okay. And it is as a result of the heaviness or the magnitude of some of them, their operations. Because one entity can wipe about 5 of the other ones that are.
Because you have a majority making profits, but you're still
And that is where the policy insights comes in. Okay. Because when you see that, then you want to go further. What is causing this? Then, if you look at it, you see that there are a lot of them that we need to have a real look at. there are a lot of them that we need to refocus, look at what they are doing, and that is what it helps in the policy making and all that. So to us to improve their performance.
So you have 19 entities as against 35.
35.
And this 19 are still able to pull you down into
Huge losses.
net losses.
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible to highlight some of them that are still struggling, that are suffering some losses?
For example, Ghana Water Company.
Okay.
Yes. If you look at Ghana Water Company, its size is huge. It
Yeah.
reports revenues in billions.
Okay.
And the same will be the expenses.
Okay.
Because looking at what is happening currently, and over the years,
Yeah.
we are facing the
Galamsey crisis, the impact is having
crisis.
on
Now, they need the sources of water that we have. That is what they are treating to our homes. Now, if the waters are polluted, they will spend a lot of money in treating the water.
Okay.
So instead of, let's say, spending about 80% of their revenue in the direct cost, that is the cost involved in producing the water to our homes, they will spend like 95%.
Okay.
And when it increases, like, the water is being polluted, transmissions are being destroyed. The pipes that are coming, the last time they said one of the towns, I've forgotten, they are not giving them water because they've destroyed the pipelines. And it is happening. They need to spend. They can't say that pipelines are destroyed, so we will not distribute water to our homes.
Okay.
And these are all costs. These are all costs. So when it comes that way, and let's say they spend almost 100% of the revenue on production, they need to pay their staff, they need to pay utilities, they need to service their cars, and what will cover their operational costs.
Okay.
And that is why, in the long run, you will find ourselves in losses. So every Ghanaian, all of us, we have roles to play in making sure that our entities are performing. ECG, they will supply electricity to our homes. Most people are doing illegal connections. If they are not able to take the revenue, they bought the power.
Okay.
It's expenditure to them.
Okay.
So if you are smart and you say, okay, you can cheat the system, you don't, you are not under the metering system, you don't pay electricity, you are killing our own selves. And that is why we need to have that reorientation to see that our actions and our inactions as citizens collectively will affect the operations of our specified entities.
Just to add on, I said earlier on that there have been some improvements when it comes to the performance of these SOEs.
Okay.
In 2023, we had about 6 SOEs who have consistently been making losses.
Okay.
But in 2024, we had only 5 of them who have consistently been making losses for the past 5 years from 2020.
Okay.
We have the likes of Ghana Cylinder Manufacturing Company.
Okay.
We have GNPA
Okay.
Limited. We have Ghana Water, just as my brother said. We have the Graphic Communication Group.
Graphic?
Company. Yes.
They were one of the best performing company in a few years past.
Yes, but you could see that they have been affected by the emergence of this social media and this electronic media.
Okay.
And I think they are not doing all that bad, but they need to look at their operations again, so that they'll be very competitive. Okay. And then look at Thermal Oil Refinery.
Okay.
For that story, we are all aware of it.
Yeah.
So for about 5 years, these companies have been making losses consistently. And I think SIGA is doing a lot. We are doing a deeper dive on their performance, and then we'll come out strongly to make proposal to the presidency, and then they will take a strategic decision on some of these SOEs, whether to recapitalize them or to just bring in some private partnership or whatever. That is not under our purview, but per the report and what we are gathering, whatever happens, there will be a decision on some of these SOEs.
So when you see this consistent pattern, you as SIGA then go into these companies to try to understand what is accounting for these consistent losses.
Yes.
And then what do you only find out, or you propose ways to address it? And who do you propose it to?
Okay, so as he said, we also observe something that in the reporting, you realize that where government has little stake, their performance looks better
Okay.
than the where he has majority.
So the
stake.
joint partnerships where
Better,
you have private
because
sector.
if you look at JVCs, we covered 16.
Okay.
14 of them made profit.
Oh, 16.
12 of them made
Okay.
profit.
16,
Leaving
12.
12 made profit.
Okay.
Minority. So when you say minority, where government has maximum of 10%.
Okay.
And most of them are the mining companies. By the law, we have carried interest.
Okay.
And most of them posted profit. Out of 14, we covered 13 posted profit.
Okay.
And it comes down to, the social and the economic touch of government. Now, if you look at entities like Metromas
Okay.
and ISTC, we know that they don't charge like the way other companies such as VIP, OA, and the rest, they will charge. Their prices are, fares are lower. And it's because of the policy, government policy.
Okay.
So if without the government policy, they are charging commercially and they are competing like the way others are doing, they will definitely not post profit.
Okay.
They will definitely not post losses.
Okay.
So there are a lot of nuances, policy issues, and other things that we are looking at. We at SIGA, we want to ensure that, there is good corporate governance, because we believe that without good corporate governance, what is even corporate governance? How the organization is managed, how they do their things. We want to make sure that what they are doing, the people who are in charge, they are doing the right thing. They are adhering to good standards. They are not there for their self-interest. They are there to promote the interests of the country, and that is what we do. Where it's about policy, we make it a policy issue and we inform the appropriate quarters to take action.
So where you find out that the problem is even in the structure of the ownership and everything,
we make that recommendation.
So you escalate it to the president, or you can.
Yes, SIGA, we work with the president and the sector ministers.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I can wonder, because I want to come back to SIGA. How much control do you have over these entities? If you're in charge of governance, what can you essentially do? Can you perhaps, I don't know, can you penalties? Can you get somebody fired for inefficiency? What can you do? What do you do?
Okay, we have so much powers, our act, but let us also be mindful that we are not supposed to micromanage the entities.
Okay.
Yes, we sign performance contract with them annually.
Okay.
And per what we've agreed on, we monitor them, we evaluate their performances.
Okay.
Whatever comes up, the ones that we need to take a decision with their management, the board, will do it. Whatever that needs government or policies, that want to have a report that brings out that is called the AGIPA, Annual Governance and Institutional Performance Report. That is where we highlight some of these challenges and make recommendations. So it is not like we can move into the operations and then make some decisions. No. But all that we do is that once we have a performance contract, we are acting on behalf of the states. So if I've given you a job, I expect you to do A, B, C for me. And these are the KPIs that we sign for them. And it's not something that we do it. We do it in collaboration with the entities. So once we've all agreed that, okay, next year, we want to increase revenue by 30%. At the end of the year or mid-year, we want to come and see that by mid-year, how much revenue have you generated out of what we've agreed that we'll be able to generate. At the end of the year, to want to come and see how much revenue were we able to generate. You get me?
Yeah.
So when there are deviations, we need to know why there have been deviations.
Okay.
And then if there are some solutions that we have to profess, we'll do those things. We'll give recommendations, and then we'll see that way forward. This is how we are going to do things. If it's beyond you, what do we do? And you need SIGA's assistance, we come in.
Okay.
Now, mind you, it's not only about that one aspect.
Okay.
We also come in when SIGA comes in, when an entity needs financial support from Ministry of Finance. The request is sent to SIGA. We do appraisal to see that, yes, indeed, if the shareholder is supposed to come in to assist, then SIGA comes in. So there are a lot of things that we do with our entities. We have a lot of engagement with them.
Okay.
So adding to that, when you look at the powers, now SIGA serves as the shareholder. Now, I don't know, the shareholder of Radio Good, is the shareholder powerful or not?
Very.
Yes. So if you look at our Act, Section 3C, it says that acquire, receive, hold, and administer or dispose of shares of the state in state-owned enterprises and joint venture companies. By through our performance management framework, and we have analyzed over time, and we think that government should dispose of. So, for example, we can recommend that ECG, the government should own partial ownership, or GIHOC, government should own partial ownership, because maybe we think that when we go in that direction, it will improve their performance. So SIGA has that power. We have the powers of shareholding that per our law. We are the shareholders of these entities. So SIGA is very powerful. Yeah.
So not to forget, just as we mentioned the entities who are making losses, it's equally important to also highlight some of them who are also doing very well.
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. So we have almost about 9 of them who have consistently been making profits for the past 5 years.
Okay.
We have the Pre-Power, we have the Bust, we have Ghana National Gas Company, we have the Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, we have the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, Minerals Income and Investment Fund, the State Housing Company, and TDC. And interestingly, for the past 3 decades, that's over 30 years now, State Housing Company paid dividends for the first time in 2024.
State Housing
Company Limited
paid dividends.
In fact,
somebody was asking me whether State Housing still exists.
Yes, they exist. They are doing wonderfully well. They are doing wonderfully well.
Oh, that's interesting to hear.
So in 2024, they pay dividends, and we're expecting them to pay even more in 2025.
Okay. We expect them to do better.
To do better. And TDC consistently have been paying dividends to the shareholder. So these are entities who are also doing extremely well, and they need to be recommended so that others will also emulate.
And also talking about dividends, so we are always looking at the downside. We need to also look at the positive side. Now in the year under review, the 2024, they contributed to government about over 1 billion in dividends, but most of them were coming from the mining companies. Yes, mining companies, and where government has minority, a stake of less than 10%, they contributed over 1 billion.
1 billion.
Just about 1 billion to government. Where the joint venture, where we own partial ownership, they contributed over 74 million to government. Then the state-owned enterprises, as you mentioned, in the likes of Ghana Reinsurance and state TDC, yes, they also contributed 29.36 million. And this is the work of SIGA. So if all of you and the entire country be really behind SIGA, we believe that the story will change in the future.
Well, let me conclude by asking you, you sign performance contract with them. Yeah. Has that helped in any way?
Yes.
How?
Yes. You see, that has it gives them a sense of being looked at or being watched by the shareholder. It also confines them in a certain direction.
Okay.
When you have a contract with you, we've all agreed that you are going to do A, B, C. At the end of the day, I'm supposed to reward or otherwise per your performance. So once you give them a path, it's become difficult for them to deviate than allowing them to do anything that they want. So we have a performance contract with them. We sign with them every year with their sector ministers. We represent.
You go to the sector
ministers.
Yes. Okay.
We represent the states. We represent the government. your sector minister will also be there, and then your board chair, and then the CEO of the company. You all sign it, so we're all binded by the contract.
Is it revenue or profit based? Or
No, everything about the entity, your operations, your financials. So we look at your outputs, your input and your output. So at the end of the day, we assess your input, we assess your output, and we assess your impact. Then we draw a conclusion on your performance, and we always come out with a lake, how all of them are performing, and we award those who are doing very well. So every year, all the performances are discussed. We rate them, those who are doing better, those in terms of governance, those who are doing well in terms of profitability, those who are doing well in terms of other categories, that will give them award.
Okay, adding to that, the performance contract, it is very important, and that is why SIGA wants everybody, all the entities, and working with the president. The president has been very supportive. As soon as he assumed office in March, he called all the CEOs to come together and told them that they should give SIGA all the attention that SIGA needs, because the work of SIGA is important. Now, in this report, but when we did it, we also looked at the entities that have been signing performance contract consistently, and we realized that it has bearing on their financial performance. Because if you look at the SIGA's performance contracting and performance management regime, we have 5 dimensions. We have the financial dimension, which looks at the financial performance of the entity. We have the performance dimension, so that deals with the operations. We need to ensure that what you are doing, you are meeting your mandate. Because as I mentioned, FDA was set up to do regulation. It is not just about the finance. So we need to ensure that what you are doing it. Where you are supposed to cover, you are covering. If it's about standard measurement, you are doing it. Recently, if you realize that Ghana Standards Authority going through the markets, ensuring that the market women are adhering to standard. That is what SIGA want to see, that you are doing that. Now, by doing that, we think that governance is important. So in one of the dimensions, we look at governance, that the directors that the president has appointed to take charge of the company. We need to ensure that you are doing the right thing. Are you coming for meetings? So always we need to have meeting attendance, what they are doing, because it let us know the effectiveness of the board. If the board is not effective, then it means that the organization will not do better. We want to ensure that you are doing the right training. So every year you submit your training plan to SIGA for us to know you are training your people. Because if you are not training the people, without the people, it is just a building. So organization is made up of people. So we at SIGA want to ensure that you are training the people. So our performance management framework is really 360. And that is why everyone is supposed to. One of the key things was risk management. Risk management, because anything that will impede your success is risk. And we at SIGA, we ensure that every organization has a very consolidated and detailed risk management plan. Ensure that these plans are implemented properly and timely, so that we can mitigate risk. Because if you have not, anticipated what is likely to happen to you, then it means that you will never plan for those things. So we start them to prepare for what is ahead of them, so that their performance will be something positive for our country.
First, I would like to thank Charles and Fidelis for joining us in studio. But before we go, just some brief concluding remarks. I'll start with you, Charles.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll conclude by looking at the assets that these SOEs control, under their control. And that's what SIGA will also play an oversight role on them. Now, the total asset size of these 54 SOEs, it's 395 billion.
395 billion.
Yes. This is the assets that SIGA we are overseeing. And these are assets that sit with our 54 SOEs.
That's huge.
When you compute all their assets together, you see it's very huge. So SIGA, we are a big
With
authority.
potential for growth.
Yeah, we are a big authority. We look, when you look at the assets that we are talking about, it's very huge. This portfolio is very huge, and out of it, there are 10 of them who have large asset size, and they are ECG, VRA, GMPC, Cocobod, We Power, Ghana Gas, Netco, GPHA, CBG, Grico. Now, these 10 entities, we classify them as the big size entities in terms of their asset size.
Okay.
Their total assets, when you put all these 10 together, is 337.6 billion.
But so their asset base is basically
Over
It's over 80, almost 90% of the total asset base of the entire portfolio. So it tells you that if these 10 are even doing better, the whole portfolio will be doing better.
Yeah.
But surprisingly, all these 10 entities, these big 10 entities, cumulatively they are making a total loss of 8.2 billion.
Okay. So when they lose,
the whole portfolio lose.
okay. I see.
So,
Fidelis, to conclude.
Okay, so I would like to thank you very much. And as I mentioned, the work of SIGA is very important. The change that we want to, the resetting, we need to support SIGA to do its work, because I know if SIGA does its work, the country will be better, things will change. If the entities are doing well, they will create employment. If they are doing well, they will pay more taxes. If they are doing well, and you need their service, you can easily have access to that. So all of us, including media and all, you should support SIGA to do its work. Thank you.
So now, to conclude, I'm finally to conclude. This is not a report that is meant to embarrass any CEO or any entity.
Okay.
It's just a report that is giving accountability to the Ghanaian populace.
Okay.
And the populace should also see them from not entirely about profitability, just as he said earlier on.
Okay.
Because, for instance, some of them do some public service obligations that they cannot quantify them. For instance, if a village needs electricity, they send a transformer there. How long will they take? It takes a very long time for them to even recoup that investment. Meanwhile, that costs have already been incurred.
Okay.
So it shouldn't be necessarily ECG is making losses, but let's also look at their impact and their contribution. We cannot say Ghana Water is making losses, a bad company. Let's look at their impact.
Okay.
Because they are sending water to areas that virtually there are a lot of few people who are not even able to even pay their water bills, but they need water.
Okay.
And by government policy, they must do some kind of expansions. And there's a whole report about the bottom line, that is the net loss. There was a lot of finance costs that really caused that thing.
Okay.
And it is as a result of the depreciation of our city, especially Ghana Water depreciated. Because of depreciation, they recorded a finance cost of about 3-point-something billion.
Okay.
So we should be mindful of how we go.
Assess all this.
Yes.
But is the report out?
Yeah, the report is published.
How can the public get access to it?
Okay, we publish on our website, SIGA website, and then Ministry of Finance website.
Okay.
So
SIGA website, Ministry of
Finance website.
Okay, so if
You
you're interested,
just search State Ownership Report 2024. You'll get the
if you
link.
Google, yes, just State Ownership Report 2024, you get the detailed reports there.
to be very frank, when you mentioned the is it enterprise or entities that had made losses consistently, you see, I was surprised by, I think, only one. I asked about Graphic
Yes.
because I was surprised. But the rest, when you mentioned Ghana Water, of course, I expect Ghana Water to be struggling because of the Galamsey issue and the impact it's having. So most of those things are public most of the time. But thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, Fidelis Ankoma and Charles Nakwesin are both technical team members of the State Ownership Reports. They work on these reports. At least, how long have the both of you been working on this report?
Since 2021.
Oh, you are experienced people.
Yeah.
Yes. Go and read that report for yourself.
Okay.
Because thank you for
Thank you
They are
for
both
having
from
us here.
State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA. They are responsible for. They are taking care of the assets that belong to Ghana, especially the enterprises, the entities. They are different and diverse in nature. not all of them are supposed to be making profit. Some have other mandates to perform, but all of them are supposed to be efficient and in good financial health. Well, I'm Senna.